So, hello everyone, good morning. Welcome to Entrepreneurship Session number 3. And we are starting with week 0. So, hello and welcome to week 0. So, week 0 topic is Entrepreneurial Lifestyle. Now, you are sure that you are excited to get your idea off the ground. Maybe a little nervous, but there is plenty of activities lined up for you all. So before we dive into details though, let's look at what entrepreneurship means. So in this section, we'll talk about your entrepreneurial lifestyle and what makes a successful entrepreneur and what's your vision for yourself, both personally and professionally. So looking ahead, let's talk about entrepreneurship. So becoming an entrepreneur means more than just starting a business. And entrepreneurship means something different to everyone, right? So becoming an entrepreneur means more than just starting a business. It means something different to everyone. So for some, it's about a chance to change the world, a need to be my own boss, a desire to leave a legacy, an opportunity to create a wealth, a personal desire to make a world a better place. So I want to know what's your entrepreneurial goal. Anyone can volunteer. For you all, what is entrepreneurship? Other than this, what you see in your screens? Anyone?
To help other people.
Okay, very good.
To solve the problems and make business models on top of it.
Okay, very nice. Good. Yeah, you all are in the right direction.
So freedom of choice.
Yes, that's the control in the things which you are,
Yes.
yeah. Anyone else wants to share? Okay, so quite good. Everyone has their own definition and motivation to be an entrepreneur. So this slide is applicable to every one of you who have joined. So you should ask yourself, how would you finish this sentence? I want to be an entrepreneur because. Okay, so this I've already asked in the previous slide itself. So why is entrepreneurship a part you want to take? Right. So did you take a minute to ask yourself, to really ask yourself, right? While it might be tempting to go full steam ahead and get your idea launched in the world, it's important to have a clear idea about why you are on this journey, right? So the first module, that is entrepreneurial week 0 topic, entrepreneurial lifestyle, will help you to really think through for your reasons to become an entrepreneur. So let's get started. So taking the leap to become an entrepreneur, you will probably find yourself wondering about two big things. Is my idea great enough? Second will be, do I have enough experience to become an entrepreneur? So in this course, you will be learning how to evaluate and refine your ideas. We will also help you to build your experience you need to get your idea off the ground. So let's see some motivation for the entrepreneurs. A video.
The conventional view of why people become entrepreneurs is typically dead wrong. A lot of folks think that people become entrepreneurs because they want to make money. And you know what? If you look at studies of entrepreneurs, that's rarely the case. There are three big drivers that lead people to go out on their own as entrepreneurs. One of them is they see something out there that's wrong, that's broken, there's a problem, and they know how to fix it. And you know what? They know how to fix it better than anybody else, and it's a little bit irritating that no one's bothered to fix it yet. The second thing is a sense of autonomy, a sense of having some control over what you do in your life. And the other one is actually quite interesting. I think that there's a degree of authenticity that entrepreneurs want. When you're working for a large institution, you sometimes have to kind of check check who you are at the door to conform to what's going on inside. When you're running your own operation, the company can be a reflection of your values, of your personality, of who you are as a human being. And I think all those forces, which have very little to do with money, are what really drive entrepreneurs. And I think where people get confused is that they see some entrepreneurs make money and they think because that entrepreneur made money, that's what she was trying to do in the first place, when in fact, it's actually a consequence of a sense of autonomy, a sense of having a problem that you want to fix, and a desire to be authentically who you are. Entrepreneurs see something that needs to get done, a problem that must be solved, a product that must be offered, a service that must be delivered, and they feel so deeply about the need to deliver that they're willing to bicycle into the headwinds in the face of all this opposition, in the face of all these naysayers. And I happen to think that as citizens, we should be actually quite thankful that they're willing to do that.
So that's the video for motivation for entrepreneurs. Now, let's talk about, is my idea great enough? So your successful entrepreneurs turn feasible ideas into profitable business. So don't get bogged down searching for a great idea or worrying whether millions of customers, will come rushing to you for your product or your service. Instead, think of these questions: what do I need to start? What do I need to start a business? So you need a product or your service that someone is willing to pay for. How many customers do I need for the product or service? Well, this depends upon your goal. But to get started, your product or service should meet the needs of a group in your community or a local market or some other target market you have in mind. So remember that some of the today's most successful companies started small. Examples are Facebook, right? So Facebook began as a way for Harvard students to connect with one another before expanding to reach students at other colleges. Eventually, it incorporated non-students, and now Facebook is used by people of all ages across the world. So next we have to ask ourselves, am I counting on a fantastic idea or a feasible one? Right. So that's one other question which you have to ask for yourself. And next is that, do I have an idea for something that will meet a customer, or it will involve, meet a customer's need, or will involve a significant saving, right? So these are the questions which you should ask. So will the customers be willing to pay for it? So today, most successful companies started small, as we have discussed that Facebook began a way for Harvard student connecting one another, expanded to reach students, and incorporated non-students finally. Now it's used by people of all ages across the world. So what's the first thing I should do if I have a startup idea? So, you should first write it down, right? We have literally hundreds of business idea written down on notebooks. So, you have to talk to a lot of people about it. So you should read, you should get the opinions that what they think about it. Don't think in a manner that someone will steal your idea. No, it's all about execution, how you execute that. So no one can steal your idea away from you. So yeah, so you will get a feel that maybe your idea wasn't ready or wasn't right by talking to people, by actually talking to the customers who will be your future customers buying your product or your service. So it's always important to share your ideas with others. So do I have enough experience to be an entrepreneur? So experience within industry and business. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. So just you told us to share the idea at the initial stage. While I disagree at this point, even at my journey, I started discussing with other people, and what I faced was that it wouldn't be possible to do what I do. And even there are businesses, say the absurd thing like that company that sells packaged rocks as gifts or packaged potatoes. That's something absurd, and if they would have shared it with any kind of a logical people, they would have been kicked out of the room. But they are $1 million companies right now. So
Yes, that is
it's not
true.
like you would.
Yeah, there is always a two face of the coin. Yeah, I totally agree with you. It's one way of thinking process, is one way of interpretation that you have your own experience with you, which you are disagreeing to this point. That's totally fine. There's nothing wrong or right in this. So only thing is that at the initial, very very initial stage, you don't have that expertise, right? And you are looking to build your network. there are some people who might take advantage of your idea, and they had the expertise and they might do that. So that's the risk you have to willing to take. What happens is, what my point was in sharing your startup idea with someone is like, don't give details into it, just a normal thing. And you have to share with them with a trusted network, right? You cannot just open it up in the world wide web that I'm launching this thing. It won't work, right? So it's correct that there will be few people who want to take you ahead, who's a very positive outcome towards your idea. But there will be 10 people who will try to suppress your idea, who will try to negate it, who will try to even use your idea in some other way and try to convince you otherwise. So yeah, both the experiences are correct. But at a very early stage startup, like for example, if you require some technical guidance from someone, from your mentor or for your classmates, if you're convincing someone to join your team, then you have to express yourself freely about your idea. That was the point was. I hope it is clear.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, sharing with the right people also matters the most. But yeah, if you're starting with this journey, always the voices matters, right? People you trust around. So you will definitely, let's say that you have your business idea today. Whom would you discuss the first, right? With your family, right? Now family safe, your friends safe, right? Your mentors. It's very safe to tell them that this is what you're thinking ahead. And then if you are really searching for a team member who has that expertise, right expertise, then you have to convince that other person. So you have to explain, your vision and how would you like to proceed ahead, right? It may not happen that, you will tell this to each and every person. No, not that. You have to be very selective about it.
So,
So
but if we do not understand the flaws in our system, then how would we even fix it?
that's
I
what
mean,
happens
our
now.
well-wishers would only say कि मतलब it is good, you should go for it and all. But the
Yeah,
people who will criticize are the ones are the who would मतलब fuel you अच्छे से.
that's what now there are two sides of the coin. So even if you share your startup idea with your family, they might think, and okay, fine, you're doing well in your studies, why don't you look for the job? So they will be the first resistance. So that's what I'm sharing, that's what I'm trying to portray that point forward, that if you talk to people more and more, they might give you a better perspective which you cannot see right now. But that you have to willing to take that risk, that that other person is trustworthy and really trying to help you out. Now how will you know that? That's the difficult part. You have to find the right mentor, and the right people to talk to, and at the right time also. Because you might go ahead with the idea. See, you will love your idea, right? There is nothing, no doubt about it. You will see no flaw in it initially. But as you move ahead, you will realize that okay, it's not practically realizable, or maybe I will face difficulty in getting the customers for my idea. So therein where the problem lies. Okay, so yeah, initially you might face a lot of resistance from the people ki, no, what are you doing? Are you crazy? You're starting up your own business. So yeah, you have to prove yourself similarly. In meanwhile, if you are very technically sound and you already know what are you doing, you build up your MVP, and then you have the right team. Then you approach your investors, and then you started. You first of all, before the investors, you want to bootstrap yourself. That is self finance your startup. You get some money from your close ones, like not more than let's say 1 lakh or 50,000 or so, and startup. Let's see how it works, and then give it a try. See, 90% of the startups fail at initial stage itself because of various driving sources. We will be going to details about that also, why that happens, right? So initially that passion, that drive should be there, that okay, fine, I should not be discouraged that someone has told me not to do that thing and I will drop it completely. No. So you should carry that willpower and that vision that okay, fine, I will keep on moving ahead, and I'll accept that if my idea doesn't work or is not executed, people are discouraging it completely, and 10 people are saying that okay, it will not work, and you still have that gut feeling that it might work ahead. So you should go ahead with it. It's all about your perception on this. So both the points are valid. Some people should say that you should share your startup idea with someone. Some people will say that no, definitely not, you should keep it to yourself. Yeah, so both the point of views are correct. fine with this, or anyone has a different point of view in this, would like to share? Okay, fine. So next thing is that, do I have enough experience to, be an entrepreneur? So, and experience, yeah, it always helps. In fact, inexperience can be its own advantage. It can help you avoid tying down to, the way it's been always been done. That you can apply your own energy and enthusiasm to learn about a new field, trade practices, its techniques. You can leverage other talents, developing partnerships, and asking people with different area of expertise to work with you. Okay. So, however, it's also extremely important to exercise self-awareness. At the start, you should be aware that what are you doing about your area, where you want to, you should know where you lack experience, right? And where you require that. So knowing your skill gaps in advance will help you to build an effective organization later. So you should ask yourself that, am I building on my experience? Am I stepping into a new territory? What additional information do I need to be successful? So yeah, at the start, you should be asking all these questions to yourself. Then let's talk about characteristics of an entrepreneur. So another question you might be asking yourself is whether you have the right characteristics to become an entrepreneur. While there is no specific set of characteristics possessed by all entrepreneurs, many of them share a number of common traits or skills. Okay, so what words come to your mind when you think of entrepreneur? So you have already we have already discussed this. So let's discuss some common things which most entrepreneurs have. What makes an entrepreneur? First is desire and passion, right? This is very very much ingrained in any entrepreneur. In order to exhibit the perseverance necessary to drive a business through difficult times, you need to be passionate about what are you doing. Certainly in the early stages of your venture, you will work hard and for less money than you will ever have in your life. Without passion and belief around you, around your idea, and you may be question your own dedication to your cause if it is not working for a long time. Still, the desire and the passion will take you ahead. Then next is the ability to thrive on uncertainty. So entrepreneurs exist and prosper in environments that can often be confusing and chaotic. Okay. Next is determination and resilience. In entrepreneurs don't quit easily. When things look hopeless, they persevere, and sometimes they make adjustment to the idea, whether it takes whatever it takes to make their business don't fall from their hand and don't fail. Okay, so that is what resiliency and determination mean. And accountability, entrepreneurs realize and accept that they are responsible for their own success and failures. Self-confidence, entrepreneurs believe that they can solve any problem that comes in their way, so that should be the mindset. They value the bottom line. Not all entrepreneurs have inherent ability to control cost, inventories, cash, and other assets, but they do understand that controlling these factors is a crucial for a business. So whenever necessary, they rely on the expertise of their team members, to further support their in their venture, right? So don't only rely on themselves. Yeah, you should rely on yourself first, but whenever you require some help, you should seek for that. Then they are very quick problem solvers, right? They don't need perfect solutions to get started. Instead, they look at a problem from a different perspective to find creative solutions to it, and what is the best solution for them working. Then networking, you have to build up quite a bit of networking. You should have some contacts, so you should ask the right. That's what I was talking about, asking the right people at the right time. And some business knowledge. Entrepreneurs don't always have that general understanding of business management that necessary to succeed. There is no one method of being an entrepreneur and running a venture, right? You can have your own way of doing things. So whether you lack expertise or experience, an entrepreneur will always seek advice from mentors and other business professionals to assist them if they're lacking in some skill. So these are all the points about what makes an entrepreneur. Then this you can watch the video a little later, because it's like a 7 minutes video and I want to cover the important topics. So what is life like for an entrepreneur? You can watch it at your own end. Then let's talk about week 0 activities, what we will be doing. So week 0 activities, there are 5 activities in week 0. First will be entrepreneurial style quiz, which will you will identify what is your entrepreneurial style. And second activity is your entrepreneurial characteristics. We talked about the characteristics. So you will develop yourself if you answer your questions with your with honesty, complete honesty uh, to yourself. And this week 0 activities will not at all be graded. It's for you all. And activity number 3 will be lifestyle goals, followed by professional goals and personal vision statement. So let's look into it in short. So this is activity number 1. This is how it will look like. Entrepreneurship style quiz. So there are some questions individually. You have to, you have to attempt them. It's a 5 minutes. It will take hardly. There are some 10 questions are there. So whatever is applicable to you, you can tick mark. Okay, from all the options, right? So without any, just think it will be judged, it will be marked in the form of grades. No, nothing will be marked in the form of a grade. It will help you to develop your own entrepreneurial style. Okay, so there are around, I guess, 10 questions are there, correct? So there are various situations which are there, and whatever is applicable to you, you can mark it over here, right? And later on, once you submit it, then I guess in tomorrow's lecture or day after, I mean the next lecture after that, we will discuss about what was the meaning of all this, right? For example, here the various entrepreneurs' journeys, here portrayed, right? So you can have a look at it and you can mark whichever is the closest personality, entrepreneur's personality you belong to. Fine. So this is about entrepreneurship activity number 1, entrepreneurship style quiz. Now, next is about entrepreneurial characteristics. Now, this is slightly different. That was the style. This is characteristics. So this is again, you will take 5 minutes. It has 2 parts, part A and part B. So you have to, whatever we have talked about, desire and passion, ability to thrive on uncertainty. So you can also mark those things that which are individually, applicable to you. This is part B. All the things we have discussed. So you can take 2-3 minutes to complete this activity. It will be uploaded in the MS Teams, and there are no marks assigned for this, so it will not be graded at all. But and also it will be an option whether you would like to share them with us or no. Then lifestyle goals, right? Before you pursue a business that can support your lifestyle goals, you need to take some time to reflect and figure out what those goals really are, right? So this is again an individual activity. So you should work on this a little more. So because it's always difficult to start something new and on your own, right? So this activity will take you around 15 to 20 minutes to complete it. So it's about your lifestyle goals, what days of the week and time I'm willing to work every day. Then other questions are how flexible you are with your schedule, location, how where you want to live and work. Will my business idea allow me to be more flexible where I live? So you might have some goals that I want to go here and study. I want to do a job in this company. So write down your goals. It's in your thoughts. When you write it down on a piece of paper, right? You will keep working on it, right? And do you want to travel? So it might change also over time. No problem with that. Your physical requirements, your family commitments, involvement. So all those things you can answer on your own, and they are like individual based questions, not a team one. Then we have professional goals, right? Like lifestyle goals, you also must have professional goals, right? You want to be, where do you see yourself in 5 years of time, right? So yeah, do have frequent contacts with colleagues and peers. And there are more and more into details about it. What skills might I need others to bring to the table? Then in which areas do I plan on building my expertise, right? So one of the, in this direction, in question number 2.2, you have selected some branch, right? Engineering branch, EXTC or mechanical. So already you have planned on building your expertise in that. So that's the one way to start about it. And then next you have to build up on that by doing your post graduation, right? And or you want to build your experience by working in some firm or some company who's related to this, right? So you should always think ahead on the future goals, professional goals also. So also about the job security and future professional goals, that where what you want to do ahead with that, whether you want to go to management, or you want to go to finance, or you want to continue in your core area, right? So all those things you can jot it down in this, and you will really feel that what you think about your, that in your mind, but you should write it down somewhere. Okay, so what are your long-term plans, and whether you will be willing in the future? Right now, you don't want to be an entrepreneur, let's say, then you want to start ahead after your engineering. So you should jot it down, all those things. You want to start right ahead and experience and try it out whether it works out in the real world or no. And accordingly, let's say I want to stop my work a little, and then I want to focus on something else. So all those things you can write about it. And what are your income goals? How much you will be looking into that. Okay, fine. No harm in writing it down, right? Investments, then maintaining majority shares. So all that thing, how might I consider funding my investment? So all that things you should figure it out if you're starting on a part of entrepreneur. Okay. And the last is, I think, about the personal vision statement. So how do you create a business that you love? One that keeps your personal, professional, and financial goals in mind. So, you should take some time to create your own personal vision statement, right? You might be thinking that I don't have the time for personal vision statement. I need to start focus on my studies. I need to focus on my projects. But the act of writing the statement will help you refine your ideas and commit to your ideals. So having this vision clearly articulated will help you to make your strategic decisions for your business in the long and the day-to-day life basis, right? It's not that you have been working for your startup idea just for 1 or 2 days and automatically you will think that, okay, this is what I want to do. No, every day, right? Like for example, 0.1% you will add to your thing. And it's a long journey actually, right? Some people think about it for 2 years, some people think about it for more than that, some people take 6 months to figure out, okay, this is what I want, this is what I love, and this is what I want to do. So yeah, it's like alternate career part. Also entrepreneurs, you will be creating jobs for others. So yes, there are a lot of courage and a lot of determination and a lot of self confidence required to be starting your own business. So yeah, you can write your personal vision statement, right? Looking at the all the activities which we have seen earlier, you can combine your personal, professional, and financial goals, and you can prepare this statement. Okay. So these are all about the activities. Anyone has any questions based on the activities which we have discussed so far? Any questions, anyone? Okay. Uh, yeah.
Sir, in some of these questions, actually, I haven't figured out the answer yet. So, when do we have to like submit this or something so that I figure it
See,
out?
it's not at all compulsory to submit right now. See, I will keep the deadline for week 0 activity at the end of 3 months also. And no one is going to assess it. It's for your own reference only. It might happen that you might not have an answer right now, but you will figure out once you experience yourself, doing these activities and start working on an idea, and you will gain that, okay, fine, this is what I like. For example, in the same way that, when you enter into engineering, let's say EXTC or mechanical branch. So in that, you don't know at the very first year, right, what you are good at. You know it when you start working on when you experience the subjects around, or you work in that, or you have heard about it, or you have done some courses. Then you really feel, okay, wait a minute, I'm really good at this. So then you continue it further. Same way, year over year, this is just a start. So it's not that you have all the answers with you, but if you provide them right now, and your answers might even change after a certain period of time. So no, this activity does not require submission immediately, but I'll keep the submission at the very last, at the very last lecture of this course, and you all can submit it anytime. Those who want to submit it, they can submit. Those who don't want to share their experience, they can not do so, because this doesn't have any grade or something. But it's always important, I'll personally recommend that you yourself create it with, even if you don't want to share this thing, you yourself create it for yourself. It will really work. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So, you know what we are doing in week 0? We are determining whether we have all those qualities and that passion and, what it takes to be an entrepreneur, to start thinking like them. So that is what is going on over here. Okay. So let's continue further. So activity number 1, as I've already explained all the activities, it is entrepreneurial style quiz. 2 is entrepreneurial characteristics. There are some questions with multiple choices. Select the most applicable answer which you can select. So determine your personal vision. It serves as a compass for entrepreneurship, entrepreneur's decision. It helps you remind that your business is part of a bigger life plan. It will also help you to examine and adjust your business idea to meet your professional, personal and your financial goals. So ask yourself, am I willing to take the time up front to determine what matters the most to me in terms of my lifestyle? Because everyone's lifestyle will be different, right? So what is applicable to someone will not be applicable to me. So that's why these are all personal questions which you need to address right at the start. Activity number 3 is about, lifestyle goals and what to talk about before you start. So the following video will describe discussions entrepreneurs should have with their family members, including the family involvement, financial criteria, risk, and entrepreneurs exit plan. That if you really want to, if you worked out something and you figure out that okay, fine, this is not working, you should not have lost a lot of time and a lot of resources. You should figure out very soon, early, कि this will not work and okay, I want to continue with some alternate part. So it's not hard and fast rule कि if you have started this journey, you have to continue in this manner. Not at all, not at all. So let's talk, what to talk about before you start. Let's discuss that.
Ideally, the entrepreneurial couple will sit down and have a conversation about the risks and opportunities of a startup before the actual launch. This doesn't always happen, doesn't usually happen, but it is ideal for the couple to do that. Some of these issues will inevitably arise, and it's helpful to become more conscious of them and identify potential solutions before they're actually at your doorstep.
So you can watch the entire video. So what it talks about is that, what you have to think, about you should discuss with your family members, what are your planning, and you should also discuss your financial goals, professional goals. You should have them with you, that you should be, visualizing yourself, working or having your own venture. And yeah, all the plans should be in place. So before you start, you have to strategize all these things on yourself. So this video is about that. Then next comes determining your professional goals. So keeping in mind that whereas your personal vision incorporates with your friends and family, your professional goals are more heavily weighted towards what you want to get out of entrepreneurship. Okay, whether you want to learn management skills or whether you want to increase your networking, whether you want to improve your negotiation skills. And see, being in the journey of being an entrepreneur will always teach you something. It's not always all about getting the money out of your business. The find that is very good if it works on the longer run. That's very good. Everyone will be happy around you. But the thing is that more than that, also it teaches you a lot of experience, right? Which you can bring it back to your job also if you're doing somewhere. And yeah, it helps in your personal life also a lot. You will have much clearer vision of what are you doing and why are you doing that. This is about professional goals, which we already talked about. Then the personal vision statement. So how do you create your business that you love? We have already talked about it. And one that keeps your personal, professional, and financial goals in mind. So you should work on your personal vision statement. One minute. Yeah. Very sorry, I had a little bit of. I'm in college today actually, so it's cold weather in the morning. So yeah, that the break. So before jumping into a new venture, take time to decide whether it fits with your personal and your professional goals. Okay, does it, does this will work for me? Your personal fit. Does this idea fit my personal vision? And you should have talent and skills, right? Do I have the talent and skills to implement this idea, or the ability to put together a team that can achieve that? So you should really ask yourself about the risk and reward. Are you, are you willing to take the risk, and are the risk associated with this type of venture acceptable to me? Maybe it's a financial risk. Maybe I am investing too much time. I am doing my this, activities when my studies are going on. So it's always a risk, right, involved. So you should be able to accept that risk. So are the rewards, like for example, personal growth, satisfaction, self-expression, financial recognition, and freedom adequate to offset the risk associated with this venture, right? Because along with the risk, you will get the rewards also. So what to change? When to change course? So spending time planning and researching your business idea can save you a great deal of time and money at the very start. So rather than pursue a risky idea, you may choose to consider several options, including that identifying and researching, all the existing idea or a similar idea which has been implemented, or a new business idea, getting more education and training so that you become expert in what you do, improving your personal financial situation for funding your business. Let's say that you have decided, okay, fine, my idea is good. You've kept it dormant for a few years. And then when you have enough financial freedom, you will work on your idea, right? And getting a job in the industry to learn more about it. Let's say that you want to do something in robotics, right? So let's say you have joined a company where you have learned various things about robotics. You have worked with actual robots and you have programmed them. You have learned the programming language, and now you want to develop on your own, right? So you can always get some industrial experience and then get back to your startup idea. When to change course? Most organizations want people with entrepreneurial skills. So as I've told you, it's not that key. It's always about financial things which you're looking for out of the entrepreneurs, but there are many entrepreneurial skills which are required if you wish to do something in management, right? If you know how to analyze and evaluate business opportunities. So those are the most organization will want people to have an entrepreneurial skills. Going through the business planning process will provide you with a valuable skill, which you will use to learn and evaluate time and again. Maybe, even another business idea you might get, it's that key, you have worked with one idea and it didn't work. You realized it very far, very soon, within 2 or 3 months, you realized that, okay, this might not work. And you joined back your job, and after 2 3 years you'll again, it clicked you, okay, fine, if I have refined my original idea this manner, it might work. Or even if you get another business idea, you can start at any time. There is no, people have started even at the age of 50 60. They have worked on a business idea and it worked for them, right? So looking back at week 0, so you all have all taken an important step into turning your business idea into a business, right? Well, started thinking about it. So just write it on a piece of paper, attempt the activities, they are really helpful. It will help you visualize. So some people have already dived into this. They have already tried this out. Some of you all have already tried with your idea. And the very first thing which shows that you are interested in such a course is that you have selected this open elective on entrepreneurship, right? So you want to really learn more, and some of you all really want to contribute and give it back to the society. Some of them want to have a financial freedom. Some of you all have to have their own boss. They don't require to work under someone. And some of you all want to create jobs. So yeah, you all have the right reasons to join this, right? So we will move ahead in this journey together. And I hope that this entire 9 week journey, after after 3 months of time, more than marks which you will get, the experience, and the techniques which you will learn, that I'm sure that it will definitely help you becoming an entrepreneur. And if not becoming an entrepreneur, learn the characteristics which one requires, and that will definitely help you in the long run. So let's hope that all of us work together towards a common goal of doing the work in the right spirit, and take these activities in the right spirit only, right? Okay, so all of us are at different level. I am at a different level, you all are at a different level, but ultimately our goal is that we all learn together what it takes to become an entrepreneur. Okay. So along the way, you should, you thought about your entrepreneurial style and characteristics. You will be figuring it out. Your personal, professional, financial goals are. You will write your personal vision statement that will help you to make sure that keep your personal vision in mind when you're making decisions for your business. Assess whether your business idea fall in line with your personal vision, right? So that is also very, very important. So we have come to the end of the sessions. These are the acknowledgements and reference. I want to acknowledge Kaufman Fast Track and Vadwani Foundation for all the techniques or the activities which I've taken from and adopted from Kaufman and Vadwani Foundation. So I want to acknowledge them. So yeah, any questions if anyone has can ask. I'll wait for around 30 seconds so that you can ask questions. The techniques and the methods which will be follow over here are not unconventional than your professional studies. So you might feel that, okay, this is something which I already know. And this is something which I don't know, never done before. So you have to get out of your comfort zone, right? And think about that, think about that, what you will want to become and be that person for some time. And then you will realize, what are the pros and cons of now.
Hello, sir.
Yes, yes.
Sir, I had a question which I had in
Yes,
mind.
please. You can.
Sir, I had a question which I had in mind.
Yes, go ahead.
Uh, Sir, many a times what happens is that whenever I think about my startup idea, so that startup idea is little bit too technical. So I have a difficulty in making a choice that should I learn more technical stuff regarding my startup idea so that I get more expert in it, or should I go for startup and then figure out something that I have to know later on? How do we answer this question?
Yeah. So as you rightly pointed out, that is many entrepreneurs face this problem that they think that they will require that skill and you want to become an expert, right? Or the second question you gave was that you will dive into this and then learn the things, right? So both the techniques work for some people, and I'll give you an example, very very simple example. Many entrepreneurs think about the way you're thinking right now, that you want to be, they wait for a few years and they become experts in their areas and then they work on that startup idea, which is a technical one, right? First of all, you have to research about what are you doing, whether, the customers will be willing to, whether there is a need of such a product or your service. You have to research that. You have to do the market research first and see that whether that idea is feasible and worth putting your time and effort, because it might very happen that someone must have already implemented it and you want to and see, many ideas coexist in the world. You can see the example of Zomato and Swiggy. They're doing it differently. Both are working well. And Uber and Ola. It does not mean that if someone has already have an idea and you cannot have the similar co-idea existing in the market. No, it's possible. You are creating the competition, right? So yeah, it is the right way to think that you should give yourself some time to decide whether the option number one or option number two is good with you all. So that is, this course will help you out. So I will ask, you can ask the same question, and I hope that you will have an answer by the end of this course, whatever questions you have asked right now about knowing the technical skills or diving into startup idea and then working. I guess if you ask me personally, that you should start working on your business idea. You should, if you're really passionate about it, start with the campus company. Register as a campus company with Bloombox. It will not cost you anything. It will only gain you experience. Have a team, hire a team. You can offer internships to our own college students who work work on, who are technically strong, and see how it works. It's no harm in doing that. Correct. And it will only gain you experience. And maybe after 1 year, you will realize, okay, fine, this will work if I have the right resources and the right people. And okay, I have to also improve myself, right? So by the end of when you pass out, right now you're in semester 6, right? You'll have 1 year still to go. So by the end of 1 year, you can realize that, okay, fine, that I am at a much better position to decide and come back to same question. Okay, so both the techniques are fine. You have to figure out yourself which techniques works for you. But I guess right now you should go with the flow of this course. And I guess this will help you to realize, you yourself will realize, okay, fine, these are the techniques, this is what will take. So you'll yourself realize whether to go ahead with option number 1 or option number 2.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions anyone has? Which you want me to answer? I'll wait for another 10 seconds, then I'll, turn off the recording. Okay, so that will be all for today. Then in the tomorrow's session, we will talk about the, as I've told you at the last, campus companies, which are there in the college. So, and also about the Bloom box, the e-cell of the college. So there will be a short description on that. And you will get an idea key how you can get the most out of the entrepreneurial cell of a college. And also about the various campus company, they will share their own experience and they are really doing very good. So you can, I will share all the links with you. You can yourself look. They are students like y'all who have just, started and gone with the flow. So yeah, so I will be, discussing that, and we will have a discussion on that campus companies and the e-cell of the college activities tomorrow. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you everyone for joining.